Yeah, I'll take a look and see what I can do.
Okay, thank you. Okay, looks like we are ready to roll. We have everybody but Douglas on board. So we'll wait one more minute and we will get
I'm here.
started. Ah,
I'm here
okay,
on the
great.
phone.
Okay,
I can't get on the video though.
okay. All right, great. So at this point, we are going to start our meeting. And this is the Waukegan Public Library Board of Trustees meeting. And it is our August 19th, 2020 meeting. And my name is Sylvia England, and I'm the president of the library board. Okay, so at this time, we will have our roll call. Josue,
Present.
Jeannie,
Present.
Tatiana,
Present.
Larry, Larry, okay, I will circle back. Shatara is going to be absent tonight. Martha,
Present.
Brian, Hector.
Present.
Okay, and I'm here. And we have a quorum, so we are going to conduct business tonight. So we'll start with the agenda. Go ahead and take a look at that. And we'll need someone to make a motion that we accept the agenda.
I'll motion
I'll
to.
make a motion to.
Oh, I'll second that motion.
Okay, so it was motioned by Tatiana and second by Josue. And all in favor, Josue,
Aye.
Jeannie,
Aye.
Tatiana,
Aye.
Larry. Has Larry joined us yet? Okay, we'll come back. Martha,
Aye.
and you're very, very faint, Martha.
Aye.
Okay, Brian,
Aye.
and I'm aye. So motion has been carried. We will follow the agenda as printed. And the next motion that we need is for the minutes.
A motion to approve the minutes of the Waukegan Public Library Board of Trustees meeting on July 15th, 2020.
Get a second?
Can I second if I'm not there?
Sure, you
Can I
read it.
Oh, yeah, I second it.
Okay. Okay. Okay, all in favor, Josue,
Aye.
Jeannie,
Aye.
Tatiana.
Aye.
Okay. Has Larry joined us yet? Okay. Martha? Martha? I'll come back to her. Hector?
Aye.
And I'm accepting it. Once again, Larry? And Martha? Okay, is Martha still on? Okay, Martha is muted.
Aye. Now do you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Thank you. Okay, so motion is passed. Okay, so moving right along to the finance report, finance committee report. And Larry, is he with us yet? Okay. Douglas, would you, do you feel like we should move on and come back to that, or should we go ahead with the report?
I'm sorry. Which item?
The finance report.
Sylvia, I can present the.
You can go ahead with that.
Okay, go ahead, Josue. Thank you.
Okay. The Finance Committee met at 5:45 p.m. We discussed the disbursements and we recommended the approval of the July 2020 disbursements by the Board of Trustees.
Okay.
So I'll motion to approve the July 2020 disbursements.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second it.
Okay. Okay. Any discussion? Okay. Then all in favor, Josue,
Aye.
Jeannie,
Aye.
Tatiana.
Aye.
Larry hasn't joined us yet. Shatara is not going to join us. Martha. Brian.
Aye.
And I'm saying aye also. So motion carried. Thank you all. That was a great committee meeting that we had, by the way. Okay, moving right along.
Excuse me, Sylvia.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Isaac has a message on there. You need to tell Larry.
Okay.
If Larry is phoning in, he just dials *6 to unmute. Larry, do you mind trying that, sir, if you're on the phone call?
Larry, there is a message. It says, please let Larry know to press *6 to unmute on the phone. Okay. Thank you, Jeannie. All right, moving right along to the Executive Director's report. John?
Thank you, Madam President. Sent an email out earlier to the effect of PDF attachment. I sent the copy of the library staff email that I send every Monday, so a lot of that stuff is repeated in the email I sent. But essentially, the building is coming along. Chuck and his team have done great things to make our spaces more accommodating for people to work socially distant, including opening up extra spaces for staff to work in. And also, he's working on the inventory room, getting up the drywall and making that an additional space where we'll be able to provide service to the public once we're able to allow them in the building again. We have to dispose of our sorter. That's one thing that we've discussed. We decided, Selena had made the suggestion that we spent $14,000 a year for something that wasn't really heavily used or hardly used at all, and our team has succeeded in using no machine for the past year, so we're going to phase the machine out. It is at the end of life, so that we have to figure out how to dispose of this machine. Additionally, our insurance claim to the water bill that we received for $3,000 while the library was closed due to a malfunctioning faucet has been denied by the insurance company, but we are working with the city to pay those on installments so that we don't have to pay all at once, and it will be paid off, I believe, if Anna could correct me if I'm wrong, 10 months. And in the coming months, I want to help work with the board so that we can all understand the level of finance and funding that we receive from grants. We recently are a recipient of $1 million through the CARES Act funds for personal protective equipment. We are the fiscal agent for this $1 million, so the library didn't receive $1 million, but Gail Graves, our assistant director, is working with the ACL and the AACPG to help distribute masks, sanitizer, and information to the community. So more information will be forthcoming. I'm sure Gail can well explain much better than I can, but we had a press conference scheduled for the 26th of August. It's been rescheduled to the 19th tentatively. Staff are working their full number of hours and working very hard to provide service. I want to remind and encourage our Board of Trustees that the library is not closed, but the library is open and fully functioning. We're just not admitting patrons into the building as yet. So our staff is working very hard to pivot and provide these services. We've increased our offerings, virtual offerings by tenfold, I would say, and we're expanding out to offer things like in-person service with reference interactions. If somebody had a question, they needed help with an application, they needed to find a good lawyer in town, we can help people find information on a one-on-one basis. Also, hopefully expanding out to include computer use here in the month of September. The curbside service has been successful and popular, well received by the community. We're not maxed out yet in terms of what we can do, but we're expanding each week. We do a little bit more. We've restarted our homebound service to those who have medical need to receive materials at home. And we're talking about expanding all of our services and including things, like I said before, printing, scanning, faxing, and computer use in the very near future. Additionally, I would like to schedule individual appointments with each of you board members so that we can talk about the library and the board. And so over the next coming 4 to 6 weeks, I'd like to try and meet with each of you on about an hour-long basis so we can have a conversation and get to know each other a little bit better. I also wanted to make note that we can hopefully conduct our meetings via Zoom starting in September. And that is all I have. I'm happy to answer any questions.
I have a question.
Sure.
I want to ask you with since the students from Waukegan Public Schools are home right now, that maybe they would post on the website or through the teachers like something about a project or something that they they need to they can use the library right now where they have access to the books in the schools. Maybe that would promote more checkouts from the students, especially right now since they can't get into the schools. And then the second thing is that Congressman Schneider has been talking about all those grants for people who had bills or whatever. Does any of that apply to the library as far as funds for us?
By and large, most of those expenses are not ours, but we are coordinating with the city to file our expenses from COVID-related expenses, including care of our lizard, long-term care of our lizard at a veterinarian for those funds. So hopefully we will be able to submit via the city those funds, request for those funds.
Okay.
And including things like our deep cleaning and our ductwork cleaning.
Okay. And then what do you think about the books, about promoting the book checkout through the Waukegan Public Schools?
Absolutely into it. We're working on avenues right now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Martha.
Okay. Okay, thank you, John, for that report. Very good. And this month, Gil, I'm not going to walk over the fact that you're next. So go ahead.
Thank you. No problem. As John had mentioned, we are continuing to expand and build upon our virtual services. You will see that we have ongoing story times 3 times a week. We've mirrored the schedule that we were doing on site so people know what to look for and when to find our story times. The summer lunch program is wrapped up along with our summer learning. We have a number of new adult virtual programs, including crafting, reading to a puppy, ice cream making LibGuides. Our participation with the Cool Learning Experience completed, and they were very impressed with the services rendered by the library to their summer. This is virtual summer learning camp. In terms of education and literacy services, since we last spoke, we have received a $50,000 grant dedicated to adult education. We have an application outstanding for $57,500 to the Healthcare Foundation of Northern Illinois to continue to support our functional health literacy program. And then, as John mentioned, we're the fiscal agent. We're the fiscal agent for the $1 million. I'm getting feedback. CARES Act, and that money is for education and awareness to help mitigate the spread of COVID-19 in our at-risk communities of color across Lake County. That's it. Oh, one other thing. Martha, you were talking about the books. So we are partnering with the school district in some new and interesting ways this year, particularly supporting them due to the virtualness of school. So there is a school backpack that's being developed, and we will be a part of that school backpack with a key part for children and for adults, how they can use the library in its virtual state, including checkout of children's books. And then the second thing we're doing with the school is a lot of parents don't have the digital literacy skills to be able to support their children in a virtual sense or to get into Infinite Campus and some other technology. So we're going to be adding some computer classes and working specifically with parents in the district to address those concerns.
Thank you. The other thing is,
Nice.
I don't know if it's possible for you to get the list of the new teachers that just recently started working for Waukegan Schools, which are a lot. There's a lot of new teachers where they may not be in this community, so they may not even know where the library is at to refer them to.
Absolutely. We'll do a refresh because a lot of teachers, like you said, are new, but they've also moved buildings, moved classrooms, or in that sense of class. So we will be getting a lot of very specific information out as how we can support them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeannie, you have something to add? Okay. All right. Any questions of Gail?
No questions, but thanks, Gail.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gail, for the digital help to the parents, because that is one of the biggest problems we're having at the schools.
Absolutely. Before, when we got off the phone, she literally posted it on the Waukegan Parents for Public Schools site, and we had 15 calls within the next 10 minutes.
Wow.
So,
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Gail, for your report.
you're welcome.
And at this time, we have the governance committee report.
Yeah, I'll give the report on behalf of the governance committee. We met in July, and we discussed. No, we met in August 5th, and we discussed several items that we've been working on, including the harassment policy, which we decided to put on hold for now for further review, and also the alcohol and drug-free workplace policy, which was also put on hold for further review and drafting. The third item we discussed was the emergency fine and fee conversation, which we'll be recommending for new business in action later on in the meeting. So I'll discuss that then. We also brought up the addition of Juneteenth as a holiday, but we decided that that didn't need to be a policy. And so you'll see that on the agenda as well. That's the report.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. Thank you very much for that report, Josue. Okay. So we're
No,
down.
I'm here now. I'm here. This is Larry McShane. I had a problem finding the link to get into this meeting. Anyway, I'm here. So.
Thank you, Larry.
Yes.
Okay.
Madam
Excuse
Chair, if I may ask, where are we in this agenda? I'm just coming in. Where are we?
Okay. So I'm getting ready to give the president's report at this point.
Oh, okay.
And Josue was able to give the finance committee report. So I'm sorry that you had difficulties.
Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize. I really do. Thank you.
Can I make a motion to seat Larry McShane, trustee McShane, to our meeting?
I'll second that.
Do we need a motion to? I don't think we need a motion to bring him in.
We do.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay. So it has been motion by Tatiana and second by Josue. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Josue, you agree to bring him in?
Aye.
Okay. Jeannie? Jeannie? Okay, I'll come back.
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Tatiana?
Aye.
Okay. Larry is aye.
Aye. Yes, you're right.
Larry
Martha?
can't vote, unfortunately.
Martha? Okay. Brian?
Aye.
And myself. And the motion has been carried. We are letting Larry join our meeting tonight.
Thank you,
Larry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Douglas, for that information that you gave us. Okay, just moving right along, I want to go ahead and give my report. The very first thing on my list of items is our legal advice. First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much to Douglas for all of the help that he has given us over the past, 8 months? It doesn't seem like that much time, but it's been 8 months. But what I need to say to the rest of the board is that before you go directly to Douglas, you need to either come to myself or to Larry. And I'm saying that because a lot of times we have information that Douglas has, and maybe it's just a matter of clarification. And I know that in our finance committee, that was one of the points that was brought up. So, I mean, as far as, you know, what we are spending for our legal fees. So if you would just do the favor and either contact myself or John prior to going to Douglas, that would be most appreciative. The other thing, while I'm on items like that, is the newspaper. If perchance you are asked questions about the library from the newspaper, there is a policy in place that there's only 3 people that give out information to the newspaper. One being John, of course, the marketing person, and myself. So if you have some information that you would like to share with the newspaper, don't hesitate to get in touch with one of us, okay? And the other thing that I'd like to bring up is the fact that Annette Darden, one of our board members, she resigned recently. So I just wanted to put it on public record that we really appreciate all of the time that she spent on the library board. And that's my report for right now. Thank you. Okay, moving. Oh, one more thing on my report is the executive director's search. And what I'd like to do, I have a binder on what we did in the past, but what I'd like to do is start with a committee to look over what we did in the past and determine if that's the route that we would like to go in the future as far as the executive director search. So with that, and we have everyone on with the exception of Shatara, I'm looking for members to be a part of the initial committee. So, Josue, yes or no?
Yes.
Jeannie?
Yes.
Tatiana?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Martha?
Yeah.
Brian?
Yes.
Okay, and yes for myself. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll set up a meeting time for our initial search for our executive director. And I will send that out to you as soon as we go through some of the calendars, because because everybody is going to be on this committee, it becomes an open meeting act item. Okay, so I will get back with you and let you know when we will be having that meeting. Okay, so moving on to new business, we need a motion to approve the non-resident fee resolution for 2020-01 or 2020-21.
So moved.
Okay, so that was Jeannie. We have a second? Or Jean? Do we have a second for the non-resident fee?
I second, but I would like to ask a question.
Okay, Martha.
So my question is that I have become aware of 2 of my friends that I guess based on their address that they fall into limbo land. They're not part of Waukegan, but they're not part of Warren. I guess it's over there kind of like by Sunset, by Brook. It's kind of what used to be rural, but now it's part of Waukegan. So somehow, I don't know. Well, anyway, I can give you the addresses, and maybe there's some other people that are in this predicament where they said that they don't belong to Waukegan, but then they went to Gurnee and they said, no, you don't belong to Gurnee. They're kind of like, they don't know what fiber, and they would like to check out.
There is an odd piece of our map that's unincorporated and mostly beach park. So they don't fall in any of the 3 zones. There are a select few, but I would be happy to chat with you about that offline after the meeting.
Okay, thanks so much.
I have a question.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Is there a reason why this policy didn't go through the governance committee?
It isn't a policy, it is a basically a boilerplate procedural that every year we have to pass this by to remain in good standing. So it's not necessarily, it's calculated, the $125 is calculated based on a generic formula. And, you know, it's much less, I think, than what we would spend per capita if we were to calculate it ourselves. But this isn't necessarily a policy as much as it is just a procedural document.
Okay, so this is done annually?
Say that again, Josue?
This is passed annually?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
And
It usually
nothing-
happens in July, but it would.
Is there sliding scale applied to it? Like if you're like you know the schools, like if you're on public aid or something or whatever, nothing, none of that.
The policy does allow for exceptions to be made.
Okay.
Arrangements.
Any other questions? Jose, was your question answered okay?
Yes.
All right, any other questions? Okay, well then let's go ahead and, let's see, let's go ahead and vote on the policy or the resolution. Okay, so Josue,
Aye.
Jeannie,
Aye.
Tatiana,
No.
Larry,
Aye.
Martha,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
and I for myself also. So the motion has been carried. Okay, so moving right along. So that's the resolution that we're going to adopt for the non-resident card participation and fees. Okay, so moving right along, a motion to approve the removal of fines. And Josue, could we get you to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I'll put it on the floor first. I'll make a motion to approve the removal of fines, policy 4201.
Okay. We get a second? That was Martha?
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so it's been motion and
I'll
properly.
make a note. I'll give an overview of what the changes were that we made.
Okay.
Okay. So if you saw in your board packet number 3 fines, we are eliminating all fines on materials as because we identified that as a barrier to access, and also the fee threshold has been increased to $25 instead of $10. So currently, if you owe more than $10 in fees, you are blocked from accessing or from checking out items or renewing items or reserving items. And now that will be $25 with this new policy.
I have a quick question, Josue. It says in the item in the packet that
Hold on.
sorry.
Is that Tatiana?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, go ahead.
It says in the packet that we would be eliminating fines for everything except nonfiction DVDs. Can somebody explain that?
John, you want to explain that, please?
I believe that that's an old document. The document that was shared as part of the board packet does not differentiate between what types of materials. They're all fines are being eliminated from all materials. You know, the fees remain, so that if someone destroys an item or fails to return an item, they will be assessed a charge after 6 weeks and it goes into lost. They will be charged for the full cost of the item. But in terms of specifying which items, that's part of the problem, is that, you know, we were putting a $1 fine on a DVD that costs $10 and yet letting people walk out of our library with a $37.50 book with no fine.
Right.
So I think maybe the policy, the new policy reads: the Waukegan Public Library eliminates all fines on materials as a barrier to access. Due dates still apply to all items borrowed, and items may be eligible for renewal. Just to clarify, for those who weren't on the governance committee meeting, a fine was given to someone if they turn something in late. A fee is given to you if you damage or lose an item and don't return it, which we're recommending that fees stay, but fines be removed.
So, sorry, I pulled up the same document. Item number 2, it says definitions, adult feature DVD, all DVDs excluding nonfiction. Item number 2.
We can probably take that out since there's no
I'm looking, okay,
fines on those.
okay.
Is that okay to do, John,
Yes,
to take that
I
out?
say we could strike 2.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
So
Tatiana.
can I get an understanding of what we're doing?
So
Adult DVDs?
there's a line in the current policy that mentions what adult feature DVDs are. We don't need that in there anymore since there are no fines on anything with this policy.
So what he just said was there's a difference between the fines and the fees. We'll still
No,
have.
I'm trying to figure, what's the definition of adult feature DVDs? What was that all about?
That was because the current policy we have identifies those as items we can give fines on. And we're recommending that we remove that and have no fines on anything.
Okay.
If I may ask,
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question, Madam Chair. For Josue or John Caskill, or this is Laurie McShane, Trustee Laurie McShane. I know that, well, it may not be quite as controversial as issue as it may have been. I know a lot of libraries, from what I understand, have done away with fines, not fees for damaged or lost items, but fees, library fines, library fines. Let me say that again, library fines for overdue materials. However, I'm aware also that not all libraries have. So is there anyone on this board or any of our professional staff who could give me and our board and the public sort of an overview of where's the world of libraries on this matter? Are more libraries totally done away with fines versus those who haven't, and those who've done away totally with fines on overdue materials? Has it overall resulted in a better service to the public, or what about, and also in terms of a collection of lost books, or just in terms of just materials generally speaking not being ever returned, or sort of just there's we're not really not going to be, I don't know how to put it. We have no incentive to turn things in on time, so maybe they'll never get back there at all. I mean, where are we at with this? In terms of the library world, how it works.
Could I speak, Sylvia?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So I'll let John give the more detailed, I guess, numbers that he's seen from the library, but I would like to remind the board that this wouldn't be the first time we have things that are fine free. I mean, our books have been fine free for quite a while now, and I haven't heard of books disappearing at a higher rate than they were before. So I'll let John give an explanation of what he expects and what we've seen with the current fine free books.
Could I speed this conversation up a little bit? We have some attorneys on the line that I need to get in as soon as possible. But Larry, did you receive the paper, the reports from I think it was which department? There was a department that sent us this showing
Management Department.
Okay.
Shared
So
with us
there's a
breakdown.
report. Yeah, Larry, there's a report out there. If you could take a look at that, that would speed this up a little bit, and we can have that discussion, after we come back into open session. If you would like to put this on.
No, I
I'd
understand.
like to make a motion to table this until the next meeting, just because I feel like our board members haven't had time to look over. If we're rushed, I would like to make a motion to table this.
I would second that motion, the table.
Okay, so that is, okay, so we will be tabling the discussion on fines, removal of fines policy 420-1 until our next meeting.
Don't we have to vote on that?
Yeah, there
I'm
needs to be a
sorry?
roll call.
There needs to be a
Okay.
roll
There needs to be a
call.
vote.
Okay, so with that table, let's do a roll call. So Josue,
No. And I want to explain why,
Wait, hold
because
on,
I mean
hold
we're in
on,
a situation where
Josue, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Jeannie,
I'm gonna say yes.
you want to table it? Okay. Tatiana,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes, to table.
Martha,
I would say yes, just because the other people need to know the background for it, I guess, right?
Yeah,
okay,
that's my feeling.
Brian, and I'm saying no. So that's 1, 2, 3 no's, 1, 2, 3, 4 yeses. Okay, so it will be tabled until the next meeting. Okay, moving right along. We need a motion to approve the 2021 library closures to include Juneteenth.
I'll make the motion to approve the library closures of 2021 to include Juneteenth. Also, I believe we need to include Election Day, November 3rd. Next or whenever. I don't know. Is there an election day next year?
No, it's this year.
Election. Our policy currently states that it's a allowable absence based on executive director permission. And currently with the schedules the way they are, I think we can give anybody time to go, no problem.
Okay, can we get a second?
The state of Illinois approved a new law that requires election day to close all government offices.
It's not a government office.
Okay,
But we can discuss that later. Well,
right,
we
because
can.
we need
We
to
can
take.
add it, right?
Excuse me.
I'll second it.
Hello. Okay, who was that said second?
I'll second, Brian.
Brian.
Okay, all in favor, Josue,
Aye.
Jeannie,
What am I voting on?
the closure for Juneteenth, motion to approve the 2021 library closures for, or to include Juneteenth.
Aye.
Okay, Tatiana,
Aye.
Larry,
Aye.
Martha,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
and I. So motion has carried. We will be closed Juneteenth in 2021. And whole as election day, we can bring it back and talk about it at the next meeting. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Moving right along. Another new business action item is a request for trustees' bios and photos for the website. So if you have not sent that information to Susan, would you please do that? Thank you. That was easy. Okay, so now
Sorry,
we don't have any public.
is there a certain format
don't
or?
Hold on a minute, Martha. We don't have any public comments, and we do need to go into our closed executive session. So Martha, bring that back when we come back, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I need a motion at this time to adjourn to a closed executive session pursuant of OMA, the Open Meeting Act Rule 2C1, part of 5 ILCS 1202C8C14.
I so move.
So I need a motion.
I so move
I
to
second.
close the executive section pursuant to the OMA rules just cited.
Okay, so that was Larry.
Yes.
And second by Jeannie. Okay, Josue. All in favor, Josue,
Aye.
Jeannie,
Aye.
Tatiana,
No?
Larry,
Aye.
Martha,